pasuk says, talks about the nega of tzaras. Says about tzarua shaboya nega, person that has a nega. Begod of yefrumim v'roishi perua shall let his hair grow v'al sofam yate v'tomei yikra. Kol yemei asher nega boy Yitma Tomehu Bodod Yeshev Mechutz Lamachana Moshavoi. He has to sit himself. He goes out of Gimel Machanas of Klal Yisrael, and he sits himself, and he calls out that he's Tomei. No one should come close to him. So Rashi brings down from Chazal that you don't find by regular Tumah that there's a din of Bodod Yeshev that he has to sit himself. Zot Rashi from Chazal, why over here? And over here the Torah is marked with even shlo yishat tmeim yeshvim my other people that are Thomas shouldn't sit with him. One rabbi is saying, "Man ishtana b'shat tmeim leishiv bodot." Why is this mitzvah different than other tmeim that he has to sit separate? Hoyol v'hu hivdol b'Lashon Horah ben ish le'ishtoi u'ben ish le're'eyu af hu yibodol. Since he separated people with Lashon Horah between a husband and wife, between friends, he caused the separation. So therefore the Midah Keneg and Midah, the Torah says, is that he has to sit separate. So it's very, very interesting. We know, Pashtus, we look at Lashon Horah. There's Chav Daled Ovis Mazikin. There's different ways how a person damages someone. A person can damage someone in many different ways. One of the ways that a person could damage someone else is saying Lashon Horah about him, say something bad about him, something bad about his company, something bad about what he does. It's just a way of damaging him. But l'chayra, the oynish, that he sits separate, Bodei Yeshev, is just the teitzah. Yeah, they're not going to be friends anymore, maybe yeah, maybe not. In halacha, it's mavur that Lashon Horah is that if you told someone something bad about someone else and there's no chance in the world that the person's going to ever find out about it, it's also Lashon Horah. It's also Lashon Horah. Not only that, I'm sorry.
No.
Not only that. Not only that, the cases of Lashon Horah, you find that there is two cases. You find by Miriam, Moshe Rabbeinu was that Miriam was deeper by Moshe Rabbeinu, and she got a nega of tzaras. And you find by Moshe Rabbeinu told the Rabbeinu Shalom, "V'hein lo yaminu li." He's telling the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Rebbeinu Shalom knows everything. There was no effect whatsoever from the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu said Klal Yisrael is not going to believe him. And over there the Torah says that he put his hand of Yididenu R Avrohom that the Rebbeinu Shalom gave him ma'inish because it's Lashon Horah. What Lashon Horah? The Rebbeinu Shalom knows everything. It's Lashon Horah. And when Moshe Rabbeinu, when they spoke about it, Isha Akusish Ashalokach, there was any effect on Klal Yisrael, when Moshe Rabbeinu stood, that was the kaveya. So the two cases that you have in the Torah of Lashon Horah has nothing to do with the fact that there was a period between friends. So, l'chayra, I was thinking of Merdi Gavor. I think there's a Merdi Medrash in Shiur Hashirim. The Medrash stayed like this. It's in Daled Zayin. The pasuk says on Klal Yisrael, "Kulach Yofer Rayasi." The Klal Yisrael is totally beautiful. Zok the Medrash. Tony Rav Shimon bar Yochai, b'shah sha'amdu Yisrael lifnei Har Sinai. When Klal Yisrael stood on Har Sinai, v'amru kol asher dibar Hashem na'aseh v'nishma, and they said, whatever the Rebbeinu Shalom says, we're going to do and we're going to listen. Oisay Shah, in that time, loy hoye behem loy zavim v'loy mitzarayim. They didn't have not zavim, not mitzarayim, loy chigrim v'loy sumen, loy omen v'loy charoshin, loy shaitim v'loy shamamin, loy tipshim v'loy chalukay leiv. Oisay Shah, in that time that there was no mitzarayim, no zavim, there's no balei mumin, that's what the pasuk is referring to. Nemar kulach yofer rayasi. The Rebbeinu Shalom says Klal Yisrael totally is beautiful. Kivon shechatu lehoyu yomim kalim. Once they did a avera after Matan Torah, lehoyu yomim kalim not a lot of time passed. V'hoyu bam zavim u'mitzeroyim chigrim v'sumim ilmim charashim shaitim v'tipshim and v'hoyse shanemar v'yishalchum ha'machane kol tzerua v'chol zav. Afterwards they did a chet, so it says the Rebbeinu Shalom sent out, then there was the Metzias of kol tzerua v'chol zav. The Medrash is a pella. If you're trying to just define to us a timeline, so we say B'shah Sha'amdu Yisrael B'Har Sinai. When they stood by Har Sinai, they were on the Moridik Madreda. There was no chet. So over there was Leisumim, Leichigrim, Leimetzerayim. There was no Metzera around. But once they did a chet afterwards, then there was a Metzera. What does it mean B'shah Sha'amru Na'aseh V'Nishma? What in the world does it have to do with the fact that they said Na'aseh V'Nishma? It's two different angles. Over there was a time that they had no chet, and later was a time that they had a chet. B'shah she'amru na'aseh v'nishma, there was lo mitzrayim, there was no mitzrayim. So shteit amerdik yisayt. We think we say that Lashon Horah is the teitzah. You say something bad. The Metzias says that Lashon Horah is a Metzias that the Rebbeinu Shalom created. If you say something bad, then that Metzias of the Dibur, the Metzias of something that was bad, that was said about someone else, that Metzias is a period in the Achdus of Klal Yisrael. The Yesod is that Klal Yisrael, the Yesod is one unit. Is one unit. And when Lashon Horah is said, if you created a Metzias of something bad said about someone, it has nothing to do with the fact, the Teitzah, that it had caused the damage. The very fact. It does. Let's say something has created something which is bad, which is not good, right? You have a creation that's not good. There's a ra in the Olam. There's ra exists. The Metzias of something which is evil exists in the world. Lashon Horah is a dibur, is a word which is a Metzias of evil. And that Metzias of evil has a koyach to disconnect the Achdus, because Achdus of Klal Yisrael is chet, is evil. Lashon Horah is saying something bad.
You might not know it, but it does.
It's there ba'atzem that creates the evil which is a disconnect in Klal Yisrael. When Moshe Rabbeinu told the Rebbeinu Shalom, "Hein lo yaminu li," they're not going to believe me. That was something that was bad said about Klal Yisrael. That itself disconnected in the Achdus of Klal Yisrael. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Rebbeinu Shalom knew everything. The Rebbeinu Shalom knows everything. That Metzias that the Ra was said about Klal Yisrael was a disconnect. And Memela, we know in Zemiris we say that it's based on a pasuk. It says, "Avo kulam bevris yachad na'aseh v'nishma omru ke'echad." Klal Yisrael came. It was unanimous in one saying. They were all together. The mile of na'aseh v'nishma was that they were omru ke'echad. It was all as one unit. There was no time other than Matan Torah that had that Maila of being one unit the same way they were by Matan Torah. Once Dr. Medrash, why Matan Torah, Kishamur Na'aseh v'Nishma, they said they were one unit, they said Na'aseh v'Nishma together as one. Afterwards, once they did a chet is something that causes a period. Once they had Lashon Horah, the Achdus was going that they were able to say Na'aseh v'Nishma. Loizov, if you have that Achdus, then there's no period, there's nothing that can stand against the Achdus of Klal Yisrael. There's no Mumin, there's no Zov, there's no Mitzrayim, no Chigrim, no Tipshim. But after that, once they were Chayta, you had someone saying Lashon Horah, that Metzias was a period in Klal Yisrael. If there's a period in Klal Yisrael, then it was shaykh to have a Metzera. We know that Meruba Mida Teva, Memida Peronius. If there's a Metzias that the Rebbeinu Shalom created, that with words a person can make a period, an Achdus, the Metzias of those words itself have the koyach to make a period between one another. Zok Rashi, Yoshev Bodad. Why? Because Lashon Horah is it's a Metzias of separating people. That's the Metzias. Kolshkein v'kolshkein meruba mida teva memida Quranius. If someone says something good about someone else, that itself is a Metzias that brings together people. We should have the koyach and be zeicha to go zusammen. Great minds.